Welcome back to Vossman Reviews. I am Vossman. Let's get into this Grandeur of the Seas review for Royal Caribbean. Before I start though, I just want to say that I forgot all of my recording equipment. I had packed everything. Well, I thought I had packed everything. I had it set aside. So I could take everything, put it in the suitcase, and record the whole thing with you using good cameras. But I was in such a rush getting ready to leave for the airport because we were on a bit of a time crunch that I forgot it all. So everything that you're going to see is from my camera, which is a Motorola. So that's what it is. Now, Grandeur of the Seas is the smallest ship that Royal Caribbean has operating. And not just the smallest class, but literally it's the smallest class, but it's also the smallest of that class. So if you're not a fan of small ships, then this probably is not going to be for you. But I personally didn't find anything wrong with it. I enjoyed it. We were there for 5-6 days, something like that. I think it was a 5-night, 6-day cruise. It was real intimate, right? That you met the same people over and over again. The dining hall, the service was really fast because they didn't have as many people that had to seat or feed. So you got your food really quick. There was no 2-3 hour dinners as you have maybe experienced in some of the larger ships for Royal Caribbean. It's an older ship. I think it was commissioned in '96. But it really doesn't seem like it's an old ship. It still has a little bit of an old field charm, but it's a nicer ship. It is. It really is for the size, for how old it is a nice ship. Now, you could feel a little bit more of the ocean motion. It didn't bother me because I never get any kind of motion sickness. My wife, however, did seem like she felt it a bit more than she has on other of the ships, but she didn't get sick. There was a couple that we met that one of them did get sick. He was kind of motion sick throughout the whole cruise, saying that they wanted to do this ship because it was on their bucket list, having it being the smallest ship, that they're probably not going to do it again. Also, the food on the main dining hall is the same as any other ship that I've been on. It was delicious food. The only thing I will say is the Windjammer. There were fewer options that you would typically find on a larger ship. The same couple that we had met, I think it was named Jake. I think it was Jake. He's vegan, and they really didn't have any vegan options, so they would have to do room service a lot, eating peanut butter and jelly throughout most of the cruise, which was unfortunate. But like I said, for being such a small ship, being outdated, it's a really nice ship. It's docked right now in the port of Miami, which is a really fun port. I think that dock that they're going to do is going to be the new one that Royal Caribbean is doing for Icon of the Seas. So by end of year 2024, I will have been on the smallest ship and the largest ship. Because we do have our cruise book for the end of 2024 for Icon of the Seas. But all right, so let's get into this. Located on deck 4, this is where we're going to enter the ship. It's the Centrum. Now, what it is, just this big circular room that goes up all the stories, all the way up to deck 9. Big open space. I just thought this was the coolest place to hang out. Especially with the R bar being right there. Then they went to a tree lighting ceremony while we were at sea the first night. They made it snow indoors, which was really fun. So this right here, this is the lower level. Panning left, you got a stage there where we have various musicians that are always going to be playing throughout the entire day. Looking straight up, I mean, this is the view that you get just looking in there. It just looks really cool. This is from the upper floor on deck 5. So basically 4, 5, and 6, you can surround the Centrum and just hang out and chill and do whatever you want. And the Centrum is where they did the 70s dance party, which was rocking amazing. I think just one of the coolest spots on this entire ship. Main pool deck's up on deck 9. Now, some would tell me that they think, well, this is just a small space. There's only one main pool. And that's true. However, it's a smaller ship, and there's not that many people. So really, I never found a spot where it was overly crowded or anything. Same thing goes for the solarium. A smaller solarium as far as ships are concerned, but again, this was not a very big ship. Therefore, there's not that many people. I never found any difficulty having any time in the pool or the hot tubs, and at the very back of it was what I would consider the cafe promenade. On larger ships, there's a little deli where you could have basically food any time of the day, plus you have your solarium bar. Located on decks 5 and 6 with access to both is the Palladium Theater. They had a comedy show here. We didn't actually go see the comedy show. I did come here for the showing of Maverick, Top Gun, the new Top Gun Maverick. It was amazing. The sound was awesome. The ship bouncing up and down didn't really affect it at all. Great Gatsby Dining Hall, located on decks 4 and 5 towards the very back of the ship. For being an older ship, I thought it was a really classy place. Had excellent views of the ocean. Casino located on deck 5, which is different from most ships, which is usually deck 3. But the entrance is really cool because they got this like little treasure thing going on underneath your feet as you're walking in, and they have a couple of broken champagne bottles as when this was the ship was dedicated. Now, again, it's a smaller casino, but it's because it's a smaller ship. But again, I never had any trouble wasting any of my money on any of the casino slots or the tables. I always found seating. Located at deck 5 at the very back of the ship is going to be the Chops, Giovanni's, the South Pacific Lounge, Schooner Bar. Now, the South Pacific Lounge wasn't really utilized much except for art auctioning and karaoke. And the bar was never open there. When you got drinks, they always just went back to Schooner's Bar, which was at the very front of it. So here's the shops. These are up on deck 6, just towards the front of the ship. They have the entrance right there with Cafe Latitudes, the coffee place. There's 5 different 5 different stores. Right to the right, the first one as you're walking toward the front of the ship is the shop. That's where you can find all of your Royal Caribbean merch, t-shirts, things like that. They were selling Christmas tree ornaments of Grandeur of the Seas. I was going to pick up one, but I didn't. Port Merchants is just over there. That's your duty-free store, so you can get all your alcohol, your cigarettes, or whatever it is that you want to buy for duty-free. Facets is a watch it's a watch in like a bracelet type of store. Marco Polo, they have shirts in there. I almost went in here to pick up a shirt, or was trying to pick up a shirt to see if they had any something for fancy night for dinner, and they did not. That's unfortunate, though. And then Solera is perfume and stuff to like. I got my wife a parting gift from here, reasonably priced. And then if you circle all the way around the Centrum shops, coming back out into the main Centrum area on deck 5 is the art gallery. And there's Cafe Latitudes. Alright, so lastly, I'm going to talk about the rooms. We stayed in 85, 87, very back of the ship. It was an interior room designed for 2 people only. You couldn't fit 4 in here if you wanted to. It was just a bed and a chair and a shower and a TV, and that's all they had. I mean, you had a closet with a safe and all that stuff. I didn't find any problems with it because it was just the 2 of us, and we hung up our clothes in the closet, so we had plenty of space. Really, we only did just a few things in there: sleep, shower, and that was about it. So the rest of the time was spending time on the ship. So the interior room really wasn't that small. It worked perfectly for what we needed, and again, it didn't bother me so much as maybe a little bit of my wife, but the motion of the boat being more pronounced towards the rear of the ship usually didn't really bother me that much. It was just, again, always a gentle lulling. We actually ran into a lady that said she was going to spend the next 8 or 10 weeks on that ship, on the very same ship, and she specifically chose that room because it's away from all the other rooms. The only other rooms that are there are the suites towards the back of the ship, so she specifically chose that because she just wanted to be away from everybody else. So obviously it works just fine. If you prefer a balcony, that's you. I don't necessarily need to have one, but thanks for watching the review. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned a little bit about Grandeur of the Seas.